Call this meeting, recess meeting of the Board of Aldermen to order. Roll call, please, Heather.
Alderman Borman.
Yes.
Alderman Lee.
Yes.
Alderman Magley. Alderman Bullrup. Alderman Ward.
Yes.
Alderman Wilkins.
Present.
All right, we have a forum tonight. Official business can take place. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Receive petition for voluntary annexation.
I have a signed and notarized petition from Tom Patton and his wife Eileen, and also a request for permanent zoning once the property is annexed. And this is for property that's basically the donut hole north of the fairgrounds and south of Tom Patton's house. The appropriate thing to do is to have somebody move to receive the petition and refer it for advisement to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I've already consulted with Pat Olson. Their meeting will be the 10th. And he's trying for the 4th of July. I've got to be very annoyed that nobody else has either. If that passes, then our regular board meeting next month, we can have a public hearing for both zoning and annexation. After the public hearing, you have to wait 14 days plus a day to be able to pass the ordinance. So it will likely in August be a recess meeting right before the general government meeting or whatever it comes out to be, and they can pass the ordinance and pass the zoning. Likely something that can do.
All right.
Okay.
Any questions? All right. Supplemental GIS services.
The water and electric departments have been talking about making more effective use of the GIS work that's been done. To access it now, they have to go back to their laptop and enter the passwords and all this stuff. It would be to the city's advantage to go ahead and implement the integrity software, which allows them through mobile devices, laptops, and so smartphones and those sorts of things, to basically go direct. It's a link more than an app to go to a site that then allows them to do all this stuff from their computers in the field, and to be able to enter data, take pictures of installations, and enter that as sort of a tag to various locations in the city. Mike has requested that we do that sooner rather than later because there's a couple of construction projects that would dearly be to our benefit to have the ability to do that. And he has some other good reasons too. Why don't you go ahead and explain this?
These are our current books that we have in our truck. I'm going to show you what the valves and stuff kind of pass that around. At the bottom of the page, you'll see the intersection of Columbia Street and Lakeview, the new school. Right there at the corner, there's 3 valves, and then at the school, there's 4 valves. You'll see how they're kind of clustered up together. For us older folks, that's a little harder to see. This is a common problem with GIS. That book being that thickness, in order to get all the intersection, all the valves, that book would probably go about this thick so that we could get them to a usable deal. It's nothing with Midland GIS. This is all GIS systems. It's just a common problem with that. And
you can blow it up on the
yeah, a laptop or in your smartphone, you can do that.
It's more interactive though, so you can start doing this.
Right, and we can also take the pictures as we're doing a project. Mark's been doing an electric line behind Central Street, right next to Colt Railroad. And he could have been taking what was in the ditch, pictures there. Could have been taking transformer, how they hook stuff up, name tags on the transformers and everything. And then I also pulled this up just this afternoon. You'll see the red line on this sewer map. By having this available, I can also pull up this and it'll give me the depths of the manhole, what the material is, the grade, its shots, and then any other information I need to pull up. Same way with hydrants, I can see what the year it is, what kind of lead going to that hydrant. So it'd be handy to have all that in the field. We use these almost every day anyway. I mean, they're very helpful. It'd just be for the department heads to have a little bit more access while we're doing projects, to go ahead and put that in. The fee is $2,000. It's a one-time city fee, but that'll cover the police, fire, water, electric, cemetery, anything we want to put on it. And we can add as many layers as we need. I know, for like the cemetery, once it's finalized, they'll have it so you can go there, there'll be an app that you'll pull up on your smartphone, and that'll basically tell you what lot you're looking for and where it's at.
So it's an unlimited number of users?
Yeah.
And
For
no
that application.
annual fee.
No maintenance fee?
No maintenance fee.
And, you know, for the cemetery, just be an app there, but for ours, we have an ID and a password to get in, so nobody else can change anything, but.
So that has benefit to all the utility departments. Later on, when we add storm sewer, we'll want that for Phil and the street department too. It couples with two other things that are going on. First of all, they have done the GIS mapping, including the new surveys for the north section of the cemetery. The files for the old parts of the cemetery don't really line up. They're going to have to do a lot of field work to tweak it so that they get to the point, like Mike was saying, where you go out, you have your app there and it'll tell you how you are compared to the gray space you want to go to. That will take an estimated $4,000 worth of hours. What they are also talking about doing, following up on Don's request, and they wouldn't charge us for, is doing some tutorial for Don's proposed intern, and also checking out, they think that we could make a choice between a template being used by Sedalia or one by Farmington that would enable the engineering surveying intern to enter all of the fire department data and all the police data. And we should be able to do it via one of the computer terminals in the police department. There wouldn't be a charge for that. So then we get all that done, except we should be pretty well home free except for doing storm sewer, and there's not as much pressure to do that unless the feds and EPA decide we have to do tier 2 all of a sudden. And that's a possibility. But one-time purchases doesn't need a contract. I would request authorization to take from the electric fund up to $6,000 to accomplish all that.
I'll make a motion if we do that.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Just got a couple of other items may arise, if you don't mind.
Okay, as may rise. Go ahead, Nick.
I'll try to make her own way home.
Okay.
605 Clayton is a small house with a busted up sidewalk in front that doesn't have busted sidewalk of any sort on either side. The owner wants us to remove it or give him permission to remove it.
I'm a little ambivalent about that, but it doesn't connect to anything if we go out and replace it right away. It's not really a priority street.
What
But
street was that?
Clayton,
Okay.
between now and Public Works Committee meeting, would you please take a look at it? Because the city code, following an incident about 20 years ago, put in a section that says, thou shalt not remove sidewalk unless you replace it, unless you have the permission of the Board of Aldermen. So, you'll either give us instruction to try and make that one of the ones, the section that we replace, even though it's sort of an island at the moment. We could probably go across the property to the north of it, connected to Jefferson. It would be a bad thing, but it's not one of our priority places. Or you give them permission to get rid of it, which means there won't be anything there pretty much like the rest of the block until the city at some point is doing major sidewalk work in that area. Point B, we're down one person in the water department. There will be an ad in Wednesday's paper. Trainee water plant operator. We no longer have Chris Malloy, and we will be looking for somebody. Right now, Mike is the department. Wendy's on vacation, Rusty's out for shoulder surgery, and Chris left on Friday, so. Hopefully there won't be anything that requires him to operate a backhoe, or we'll go be borrowing from electric or the street department.
Okay. Yeah.
Lastly, we only received one bid for roof work in City Hall. Many had been called, only one responded. Watkins Roofing out of Columbia, $45,000, which strikes me as being a bit high. I talked to Denny, and he says that when he was on the school board, Watkins regularly was a little better and got the projects for redoing that sort of thing on all the school buildings. Ours is more complicated. The work requires replacement of some gutter and a lot of flashing as well as sealing. And I don't want it to drag on too long because it needs some coordination with the person doing the tuck pointing. You got to take off some of the guttering and replace the brick behind it before you put the guttering back on. I'm not prepared to make a recommendation on this yet, but I would like to suggest that you recess tonight to have a meeting before the Public Works Committee meeting on the 7th of July.
You want to have one next Monday then?
No.
So you want to, oh, right before the public works day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
July 7th.
He'll give us time to consider it. Nothing's gonna go on during the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, right.
So,
Well, I'm familiar with Watkins. They do good work. I might be concerned about others, but they're honest. They do good work, so.
I want to talk to Simon, make sure they're between the two contractors, nothing is getting dropped. And this will be something that we can live with for 15 or 20 years, hopefully, before we start doing all the other stuff. So, recess until 7 p.m. on July the 7th.
All right. I have enough there, guys. Okay. No good deed goes unpunished, and as a result of it, I am, got to be on the committee for the county for their sales tax. The county is pushing an 8-cent sales tax for parks and economic development and the event center. And anyway, I get to be on that committee to help push it. And so I'm bringing that to your attention. What is being put into that sales tax is it will generate about $3 million a year. And the county is setting aside $500,000 of that for parks for the communities in the county.
That could be Columbia, it could be Boone, or it could be Sturgeon, Centralia, Ashland, whichever. But we will apply for them, they will have a committee to review those and make a recommendation to the county commissioners, and, but there will be $500,000 per year out of this. This is a 6-year tax. It has a sunset on it. And it's primarily for the event center, but they're also looking at economic development. So there would be money available. They haven't discussed how much of that would be available, but there could be street projects or sewer projects that we could apply for that could make sites ready for economic development. And
Well,
so,
like
that,
industrial park or something.
right, possibly Randolph Street would be the one that I would think of offhand. So there will be money available for some of that. Again, it will be apply for it to a committee, and the committee will make a recommendation based upon and they might look at matching funds, they might look at a lot of things. It depends upon how much they think it merits. But there could be, and this could benefit our parks department. It could benefit us on some economic development that would help. So, but I kind of got volunteered to be on this because I asked for help on something else that they agreed to.
Congratulations. All right. Any other items, Mayor Rice?
You may get requests from various people with the governor's office to tell your legislators to not override the governor's veto of all those little tax giveaways.
Right.
He's making a real big push on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I make a motion we recess until July 7th at 7.
Have a motion and a second to recess until July 7th at 7 p.m. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Meeting recessed.